When I first got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I expected many things from the game. I expected an immersive world, I expected knights in shining armor, and epic fights, and castle sieges, and I got all of those things, and it's great. But what I did not expect to get was one of the best gay romances in all of gaming. It is just one of my favorites. So, in the spirit of Pride Month, I want to talk about Hans and Henry. So, yeah, I'm the Rat Shepherd. Please like and subscribe to see more of these girls. And yeah, let's get to it. It's funny because in my review of the first game, which I published a month before the sequel came out, I made quite a few gay jokes at Henry and Hans's expense because, frankly, they acted so gay all the time. But I thought, as a bisexual dude myself, I was just reading into it a bit too much because, as we all know, sometimes straight men are the most gay group of them all, and no, I will not be explaining further. I was so delighted when I found out that our bratty boy Hans himself was one of the two main romances of the game. It was more than just wish fulfillment on my part. Henry and Hans's friendship, platonic or not, is far deeper than most normal friendships. It's a classic pairing of bratty aristocrat who secretly has a heart of gold pairs up with a humble peasant who is much more intelligent than he first appears. A wonderful trope that we all love, done so well here. Now, KCD is an RPG with choices to be made, so you don't have to press the gay button on the screen if you really don't want to, but much like Geralt's romance with Yennefer in The Witcher 3, I think narratively choosing Hans over Catherine, the other main romanceable person, is stronger. Now, I like Catherine. She's a talented spy with a tragic backstory, and I like her character and her role in the story quite a lot, but for me, personally, I just didn't find any chemistry between her and Henry aside from both of them thinking that they are hot. With Hans, we've known him since the first game came out, and even though Henry and Hans have only known each other for a summer, they already banter like an old couple.
When we tell our story back at home,
the girls will be throwing themselves at us.
Don't you think you should take a break from the lasses? Remember how it turns out. A jealous husband nearly drowned you once.
Bloody arse and balls.
Yeah, and after that, there was the hacked-off butcher.
You mean when I was courting Carolina? That was your fault. You were feeding me the wrong verses.
Oh, sorry about that. But I hope you won't be so busy with wenches you forget your old mates.
No chance of that. The world's full of pretty wenches, but a good friend. Once you find one, you have to hold on to him. You remember what I told you before the Cumans caught me, don't you?
You said a lot of things.
I told you it's always helpful to have a minion at hand, and I'd say you're a lot more than just my minion these days.
Their differences and similarities give a pleasant tempo to how they interact with each other. For one, they're both young men who want to prove something to the world, and they're both adventurous and loyal to Radzig and Hanush. And even though Hans can be self-centered and arrogant, when push comes to shove, he goes to great lengths to take care of those around him, and takes his position as Lord much more seriously than he lets on, masking his anxiety of fulfilling that role by boozing it up with the boys and fucking bathmaids. Henry, meanwhile, is more direct. He's the son of a blacksmith elevated to something greater, now in the role of Radzig's illegitimate heir and page/bodyguard/errand boy for Hans. Their fates are interlinked, and they can't easily separate from one another, and that's fertile ground to explore what a queer relationship in 1400s Bohemia would look like. The joy of KCD's writing is how much humanity is in it. It does not flinch away at all from the realities of the time period. Religion is a vital aspect in everyone's lives. The hierarchy of God to kings to serfs was taken as a fact of reality. Women and men were treated fundamentally differently, and ethnic and racial divides were clear as day. And this environment informs all of the characters within the story. And that is what makes the love between Hans and Henry so especially captivating. This is not like Baldur's Gate or Cyberpunk or Dragon Age, where being queer is accepted and treated the same as a straight relationship. This is a world where being queer will get you ostracized at best, like the fighter/herbalist near the Trotsky Castle, or at worst, hanged. It was a tricky business as a gay person to get a read on a person you're interested in, to see if they were interested, because the consequences of misreading them would be dire. So, it's very cute and tender when, during the last days of the siege of Shushadal, Hans starts telling Henry about Lancelot and Galhaut, two knights who were once enemies who became friends and went on adventures all the time and slept in the same tent, and yeah, it's not subtle.
When Galhaut, the other knight, saw the Black Knight fight, he and his army surrendered, even though they had the upper hand. After the battle, the knights met. They grew close to each other, and from then on, they only fought side by side. went on campaign, they slept in the same tent, they went through a lot together. Until Lancelot was eventually captured. Everyone thought he was dead. When Galahad found out, well, he was distraught. He felt life was meaningless all of a sudden. In the end, he dies too, of grief and sorrow. Henry, if anything happens to you, then, why the hell can't I save you once for a change?
And then the game presents a choice, one that was very easy for me to make. What I love about this first kiss is how hesitant they are, and how awkward it is, a moment of intense passion followed by a bout of terror and regret. I am a 30-something-year-old bisexual guy living in the year 2025 in the progressive city of Seattle, but I was raised in the Deep South surrounded by evangelical Christians. And it took me a long time to realize that my feelings towards men weren't just platonic, and untangling those feelings of confusion and shame took years. So I cannot imagine how it must felt like to kiss another man in the Catholic-dominated setting of 1400s Europe. That hesitation and look of disgust on both of their faces is so well written and very brief, because it's only another moment later when the music kicks in and Henry locks a door and we get a proper butt-ass naked, passionate sex scene with their literal crossed swords in the foreground, symbolism as subtle as a sledgehammer to the face. What an amazing climax to the relationship. Kingdom Come Deliverance? More like Kingdom Came, am I right? This was a build-up of about 200 hours of story and setup between playing through both games, where Hans is very much a central figure the entire time, and every aspect of it is done so incredibly well. My biggest and really only gripe is that I wish we got to spend more time with Hans throughout, since for various story reasons, Hans and Henry are often separated from each other. I'd love for him to be a more regular companion like Mutt. I'd love to go camping with him. Oh, and another gripe I have is that at the end of the game where you survive this big long siege and everything, everyone, not just Hans, becomes basically just a normal, uninteractable NPC. I was hoping for an epilogue of sorts of having another conversation, but there really is nothing left, which is a bummer. I really hope they add some more interactability in an update, because I am very sad, and y'all can't do this to me, man. I need more, please. But yeah, I think that's most of what I want to say about the relationship in this video. I am very curious how they will treat this romance in the inevitable third game. Their position as page and noble means that regardless if you kept it platonic or not, their relationship will still be important and relevant for the next one. I just love the two of them together so much, and the weight of the setting makes their romance dangerous and daring in a way other gay romances in video games are not. And I think it's very cool that they do not shy away from the realities of being queer in that time period. Oh, and it's very funny at the end when Radzig is trying to be a good dad to Henry. Radzig is basically like, I could tell you like that girl Catherine, you could do well with a lass like that. Completely misreading the room in classic dad fashion. It was a nice touch. I don't know why I gave him a southern voice there. Maybe I'm just like projecting a little bit.
By the way, that buxom lass that you were with?
Well, Catherine?
Come on.
She's old enough to be my mother.
So what? I think you could do with a bit of mothering. Besides, a well-built lass like that, she'll see you through the hardest of times.
And yeah, I'm the Rat Shepherd. Thanks for watching this video. See you around for the next one. Thanks.